just adjusting volumes.
Okay, just by moving these volume knobs around, I was just messing around with it, and I think it sounds a lot better already. So you might be wondering, so what exactly are these knobs on the left right here? These knobs are for panning. So let's listen to what this sounds like if I pan. Actually, I think it'd be helpful if I just solo, just so you guys can hear what it's doing. See, it sounds a little bit weird. It's going to our right and left ears here. So I'm going to make the closed grand at the center. So if you ever need to reset these for any reason, just right click on it and click reset, and then we'll reset it. So if I turn it here and then click reset, it'll bring it back to the middle. So just a little helpful thing, just in case you messed up something and you wanted it back the way it was. I think that the electric piano would sound good sort of more towards the right ear. So let's pan this a little bit to the right, just a little bit. And then the strings we can have a little bit to the left and see how this sounds. Better. Okay, I'm actually going to change the tuba instrument because I think it sounds weird. So why don't we go here and just what would be interesting? Why don't we go to a guitar instrument and just try out some of these guitars? And then obviously we want to listen to the melody, so I'm just going to highlight this part, and I'm going to highlight one chord before the melody hits because I want to see how it comes in too. Okay, I think that the electric piano actually takes a lot away when this melody comes in. So what if we took out the strings and the electric piano here just by right-clicking and see what this sounds like?
Definitely.
Okay, I think that we do need the electric piano in there, but I don't like that both these...
Sure.
Actually, maybe it's okay if the melodies are playing. Maybe I can just make it quieter. I guess I'll make the electric piano just slightly quieter for now. That's one way we can do that. Okay. I think it sounded cool, and I like the guitar more than the tuba. And basically that is just leveling. So it's really simple. The chapter is not too crazy. It's just basically just changing the volume, and I even threw in panning in here. Wasn't gonna do that, but I guess we're doing that. That's okay. So yeah, volume and panning. This is very simple stuff, so you can just use that if it gets too loud. If the entire project itself, you're like, this entire thing is too loud for me to listen to, all you have to do is go up while you're listening, and you can turn this volume just down like that. And this changes the entire volume of the entire track. And there's a couple other things up here that maybe we could go over now. We have another option up here called BPM. So this is going to change the beats per minute of the song. So if I don't hover over the right side of these tiny numbers,
I don't know why you didn't mention that.
And you can see,
like at the beginning,
it slows down our song, or it can speed it up. See, so like I had it at 140 initially, so I'm gonna keep it there. But yeah, you could change the BPM if you don't like the BPM. And then this is the master pitch. I never use this, but it's here. Actually, you know what would be? I have an idea for this later. We might try something with that. Okay. Well, now that this chapter's over, we're gonna move on to the next chapter, and I will see you guys there. Okay, awesome. So I think that what we can do here is just work on a chorus for the song. So this isn't necessarily, this is going to be another fleshing out chapter. So I have a lot of chapters where like it's going to be over a certain part, but I'm realizing that I need more where I'm just actually working on the song. So I think what would be really neat is if we have the drums sort of kind of getting a little bit more intense here, and then building up into some sort of like chorus that could be interesting and unique here. So why don't we have the drums start building up here? Interesting. Okay. So I'm trying to think about what I want to do here. Let's go to packs and snares. Okay, so we're gonna make a, you know what, we're gonna go over everything. So I'm kind of at first we were kind of making something like some orchestral stuff, and I never make this type of music. This is just something that I guess just sort of happened as I was just making stuff. But like, what if you wanted to make EDM music? I have no idea what you guys want to make. Maybe you want to make hip hop. So why don't we just start making some different genres in the song? I'm not exactly sure what you guys are gonna want to make, so we'll just kind of do everything. So how about here's kind of my plan for the song. I'm not sure exactly what you guys think, but I'm gonna have it be this kind of orchestral intro, and then it's gonna drop into some like EDM drop randomly. It's gonna be really weird. And then after that EDM drop, we can go into like some hip hop, and then maybe just close it out like that. And then we can go to the next chapter where we're gonna start building this all together. So this chapter, this could just be lengthy. I guess this chapter I'm gonna take the most time, and I'm just gonna start working on different parts of the song. So what I want is, you know when you hear EDM songs, they always have like that build up. It's like and then it goes up faster and faster. We need that. So we're gonna put the snare here. Okay, that's perfect. So we're just gonna turn down the volume of the snare by double clicking the sample. I'm not, oh, you know what? My bad. I deleted this video. I had a part in the course where I was showing you guys how to do this. My bad. I forgot to include it. Okay, so this is something I should just briefly cover. So when you add a sample in here and you need to change the volume of a sample really quickly, there's a fast way of doing that too. Now, yes, you could go to the channel rack and turn it down here. That's true. I just find myself more often than not actually changing the volume here. And okay, so this is actually kind of confusing. So if I double click the sample here and I change the volume here, it actually does change the volume there. So yes, there's a lot of these knobs in FL Studio are kind of linked, so it's just whichever one you find yourself using more often. I find it faster to double click on the sample and then just turn the volume down here, but it is changing the volume here, just so you know. So let's turn down the volume. Okay, all right, so I just changed the volume in the sample editor. So we're gonna go over the sample editor a little bit later, but this is something interesting, which I kind of want to go over with you guys soon. Okay, so I like this pattern, what's going on here. So I'm gonna control left click the snares, shift and left click, and that's gonna copy them, shift left click again, and I'm just duplicating this pattern bigger and bigger and bigger. So now we have it like this. Perfect, and I'm just gonna add a snare here, and it's just gonna kind of make it a little bit more intense, and then we're gonna kind of double up the snares here, so it's gonna go like, okay, cool. And then I'm gonna take all these patterns by selecting them, and then I'm gonna right click and just drag them a little bit shorter so that it ends kind of like this. Okay, cool. So we got something like that, and so we have some sort of build up for like some type of EDM drop. This is hilarious. I don't know what I'm making right now. I think that this is also important. If you work on a lot of different genres, you're going to improve greatly. So if you just stick in one genre, your music may kind of get stifled. I find myself, the times I improve the most is when I completely switch what I'm making and I make something completely different, and then I learn a lot from that experience. So also spend time with people that don't make the same music as you do. If you find producers online and just hang out with them and collaborate and make all kinds of different music with different people, you'll improve so much. I can promise you that. So I'm just gonna shift click up arrow and move that to the track above so that we have all our snares together here. Sweet. And now I think that we're ready. And by the way, again, this is just trial and error. I was just clicking these. I zoomed in here and just clicked these snares until it sounded good. So you guys can, as I said, if you need to copy what I'm doing just to keep along with the project, that's completely fine. But yeah, I encourage you guys to mess around, okay? Even if it doesn't sound good, it's still better. I would say it's better. You're in a better spot if your song sounds like 10 times worse than mine, if you're doing something that you're doing, rather than you have something that sounds identical to mine, because that means that you're probably not learning very much. And I can understand the want and need to, when you're learning something new, to follow everything exactly, but if you can take a little jump out here and there and get out of your comfort zone and do something that I'm not doing, it'll really help you learn from your mistakes and also figure out things that you didn't know before. So I'm just gonna keep pushing that, like the entire course is to push you guys to do stuff on your own, because I remember when I was in college, we'd have people that would just follow literally everything down to the wire, and they never improved ever. And it was really sad to see, because like the people who messed up and got actually failing grades in the beginning of the course, they were the people who wanted to try out different stuff, and then they would end up coming back and being way better and were able to do anything that they needed. So that's something interesting that I kind of learned at college, and I think it definitely applies to music production as well. Okay, enough talking. Let's just make an EGM drop here. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to copy these chords. So I'm going to double click on this this pattern, and I'm just going to get rid of this red line at the top there. I'm going to control C, I'm not going to control V. I'm just going to copy this. I want the chords, so I'm going to copy them for now. And what do we do here? Why don't we add a new pattern? So I'm going to click the plus icon, and I'm going to name this EDM chords. Cool. And we're going to click this right here and just stretch it. And then this is where I want my EDM chords to play. All right, now let's add a synthesizer. So let's go to Flex, and I guess we're just gonna use Flex for everything, because it's such a good plugin that it really works for everything. Well, we can mess around with some other. Actually, you know what? Let's not use Flex. That would be the easy way out. Let's use a different instrument. Let's mess around. Let's use what can we use here that you guys have? Let's see. The thing is, I actually don't remember. I know Flex is for sure in the free version of FL Studio, but I don't remember if some of these other ones are. I forgot. Okay. You guys will have to see. So there's a bunch of other. You see how the category says synth here? You can click on these. So like we could use GMS, this plugin. It looks really weird, but we could use this plugin to make some chords. But I'm not sure if you guys have this in the free version of FL. So. Yeah, okay, just to play it safe, actually I am going to use Flex just because I know for a fact that you guys have this plugin. So
he can't think of like one other plugin
that
he knows.
Let's go to Arcsun Cityscape and just click on the first thing here. I think this one sounds pretty good. So let's, now what I'm going to do, if you, okay, so I'm just going to make sure I'm selected on this pattern, our EDM chords. I'm going to go to our channel rack, and then I'm going to C70's bounce where our pattern, where I want to put my chords in. I'm going to right click,
synthesizer. That's the
word
I was trying to think of.
Copy and paste, and now we have this. Let's just listen to the pattern. Interesting. Okay, cool. So this is what we have right now. Okay, that's super lame. Okay, let's see if there's other instruments, because that one's really, yeah, it's not very fantastic. Let's mess around here. Okay, interesting. Now you guys don't know, aren't gonna know why I'm telling you to click these off, but just click the power button on this, and then I'm going to mess around with these knobs, and I'm going to see how I can change the sound to something cooler. Now, I feel like this is a little bit cheating because I already know what all of these do, and you guys have absolutely no idea what any of them do. So I give you permission to copy what I'm doing here if you want to get the same sounding sound that I have. However, I'm going to try to quickly explain what these do, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because this is going to be part of a different course which is going to go more in depth into sound design, and I don't want to overload you guys with designing your own sounds in the beginner course, because that's just like really difficult and it takes a lot of trial and error. Okay, so so volume envelopes and filter envelopes, you can think of this as and I haven't taught you guys automation yet, so you guys, I can't even use that as an example. Yeah, this is a big problem. Okay, well, mess around with these until you get a sound that you like. I know what these do, so I'm gonna just get it the way I want it to sound. So I already know what I want it.
Dang it, man, just
like,
explain
so I'm
it.
gonna just change it to the way I want it. Okay, perfect. I like that. What does this sound like? I like that. All right, now we're gonna mess around with some stuff. So there's this cool thing called chop. If we go to this wrench right here and click chop. Okay, why don't we go to this drop down arrow and we can click different presets here and we can try out different chopping methods. That one sounds really bad.
Oh, you can flip through.
Stuff. So there's this cool thing called chop. If we go to this wrench right here and click chop, try out different chopping methods. That one sounds really bad. See some different. I'm just gonna see if there's any that sound decent here. I don't like the way any of these sound, so I'm actually going to make my own. So remember how I said the 1 and the 3 and the 2 and the 4, how that certain pattern? So we're gonna copy that. So I'm gonna Control C, no wait, my bad. Sorry, not Control C. Control Shift, left click, select all these, and then I'm gonna show you guys some really neat, quick shortcuts. So I'm going to drag all these short, and it's gonna let me drag all of them at the same time. I'm gonna make it 1/8 of a bar long. And then I'm gonna shift left click and it will copy everything so I can make my own. Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing here. I'm gonna copy these notes like so, and then I'm gonna do this. It's gonna go do 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 do. Okay, and this is a perfect time to show you guys what the AB or AB-AC thing I was talking about, because you can see how the rhythm is the same with 1 and 3 and how the rhythm is the same with 2 and 4. So this is a great example of how you can build patterns that your listeners can listen to and not get distracted by what's going on. So I used a lot of shortcuts to make this really quickly, and you know how long it would be, how painfully long it would be if I sat here and clicked each one of these individually, and there's no way I'm going to do that. So we're going to be using shortcuts. That way I can teach you guys the right way to be using FL to be more efficient, and not teaching you guys how to click in each one of these, because that just takes so long. Okay, so now we have something a lot more interesting. Okay, here's what we need. We need to right click, select all this, and then I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna clone it, and then I'm going to copy and paste these chords into the second instance of this instrument, and then I'm gonna change the instrument. Ooh, that sounds cool. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing as before, but I am going to mute the instrument. So I'm going to go to my channel rack, and I'm just gonna click on this. And now we're only listening to the new cloned instrument that we added in, because remember, Sun, however you say that, that was the first instrument that we were making the pattern with. I just clicked on this little green dot, muted it. Now we have this one. And let's just make this the way I said before. Take off delay, take off reverb by clicking the power buttons. Move this down, drag it. Okay, I'm gonna enable this back. Alright, we're gonna clone it again. Now we're flying. We are flying Mach 10 speed right here. Okay, so let's copy and paste it here again. We're gonna mute both of these, and then we're gonna listen to this one, and we're gonna find another cool something. That actually sounds really cool. Okay, what does this sound like all together? Cool. I actually want this to be like an octave up. So like, what if I took this, made it an octave up like this? Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just gonna turn this volume way down, like this. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to make a bass. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to any of these patterns, just click it, go to the bottom here. We're gonna copy all these notes by Control Shift, left click, copy all the notes. Okay, I don't know, it's being weird there. Yeah, okay. Control C. Then we're gonna go to our channel rack, we're gonna go to the plus icon, we're gonna go to flex, Archangel Cityscape. I'm gonna just click one of these presets right here. I'm gonna go to my playlist, I'm gonna click the plus icon, I'm gonna name it bass. Then I'm gonna put it right here, lengthen it, channel rack, right click, piano roll on the bass, Control V, and now we have this. Okay, now what's super cool with bass lines, if you have this like little octave thing going up, so like what I want to do is I want to take every like second note here and then this middle note, and I'm just going to Control Shift left click all these notes. I'm going to do Control up arrow, and this is something I kind of do in a lot of my more like dance songs, is I'll do this and it sounds like this. That's it. And obviously I'm using all stock plugins and I'm using just presets. So like this is like very beginner producer stuff. Like obviously in my more advanced courses, I'm gonna show you guys how to sound design all your own songs, or sounds, all your own samples, everything. We're gonna go through all of that. So if you're somebody who's already used FL and for some reason you're watching a beginner course, yes, I know all this stuff is insanely easy, and what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get somebody who's never used music production before to get a grasp on how they can begin making music, even if it's with presets and samples and loops and all kinds of stuff, because what's important is that you have a grasp of how to make songs before you start going into nitty-gritty details. So with this, I made this bass line, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go click on this bass line right here, that way it's selected. We're gonna clone the bass. We're going to make a second bass instrument. I'm gonna Control C, I'm gonna Control V, and then we're going to mute this one with the pattern, and we're gonna find, okay, so I'm also gonna mute the chords up here. All right, let's find something. Perfect, let's listen to this together. That sounds really good. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that, honestly. I don't even need to change anything, let's listen to it. Okay, the only thing missing is that I need a melody. So I'm gonna Control Shift and then Shift down arrow, and then we're gonna make a lead on top of here. So, all right, I'm gonna double click the tuba staccato. Whoops, it's not tuba anymore. It's actually a chill guitar, so that's a little confusing. But I'm gonna Control C, just copy this melody, go back to my playlist. I'm gonna hit the plus icon up here, pattern. I'm gonna name it melody, and obviously I'm going faster just because these are all things that we've gone over. Okay, scroll this, lengthen it out, channel rack, add a new flex plugin. Actually, yeah, we're gonna do flex again. Anyways, all right, let's add in another flex, and let's right click on flex, go to piano roll, and we're in the melody pattern. Let's click Control V, it's gonna paste our melody in here. And then I'm going to just right click, so I'm only listening to this. Okay, let's just try different stuff. Okay, so I have something that sounds interesting, so let's listen to it all together. Okay, cool. Let's control shift, copy all this, shift. Actually, so once I select all of these and I have this little red thing above here, I can hit control B with all of these selected, and we'll just duplicate it again. All right, now we're gonna do something really interesting, which I haven't showed you guys yet. So we are going to click on this melody, and we're going to click make unique. And what that's going to do is it's gonna put a number 2 on this melody, and that means that we can actually change this melody to whatever we want, and it won't affect the first version.
That's nice.
So now we have this, look at, so it goes. And okay, I'm not gonna try to sing the melody, but.
Pretty good.
I don't know, whatever. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of this EDM part anyways, but I think it needs drums because it's lacking right here. So I think we need to go to like a 4 on the floor beat, kind of have like a little kick snare thing going on. So let's go to kicks. Cool. We're just gonna add a kick on every single one of these lines. Just boom, 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 boom. So now it's gonna go like this. Okay, we're gonna double click on this kick, and I'm just gonna click on this out, and I'm just gonna make it low. I'm gonna click normalize. I'm not gonna go through why I'm doing this, but it's going to make it sound better. This is interesting. Okay. It's really funny, like, going backwards, because now I'm using, like, all, like, completely basic tools, and so, like, I'm trying to make something that's, like, doesn't sound completely terrible with, like, really basic stuff, so I'm just gonna control, shift, left click again, copy all this over, and now we have this. Okay, this bass is like way too loud, so let's fix that. So let's scroll down a little bit. It's black, sting it. Okay, I'm gonna add in a snare. Okay, let's just add in some hi-hats. So we're gonna zoom in here. Excuse me. We're gonna put a zoom. We're gonna zoom in here. We're gonna put a hi-hat on every other side here. Oh, it's kind of sounded cool. Let's do it like a little double.
Yeah, I was gonna say. It sounds way better like that.
Ooh, that's a bop right there. Bop, hi-hat melody. Let's go. Oh, whoops, accidentally, that's funny. I put it one too close. Okay. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, whoops. See, so I just moved that a little off. So I just gotta fix it. All right, there we go. I think it's better now. Okay, yep, sure. That's the EDM part. Okay, cool. All right, we're making progress. So what do we got so far? Let's listen to the whole thing, because so far I have no idea what I'm making.
It's like my song. Or at least how it was before. Mine was worse though.
This is so funny.
It's terrible.
Okay, this is very interesting. Yes, very, very interesting song. So now we're gonna make a hip hop part because you guys need to learn how to make all kinds of different genres. So what should we do for the hip hop part? I kind of like this thing going on here. I feel like this could actually turn into something cool. Okay, so why don't we double click this, Control C, copy that. We're gonna go back here. Just gonna unmute everything by right clicking this green box. We're gonna click the pattern icon. We're gonna go into hip hop parts. I can't spell parts. There we go. Okay, cool. We're gonna put this pattern. Okay, so this is interesting. So we needed to kind of transition out of this EM part. So let's just Control C and copy all the bass stuff and just paste it here. So have it something like okay, I'm trying to figure out how to like get out of this part. So maybe I can just kind of delete all this stuff and it just kind of goes like, and it just kind of ends with this last note, like, yeah, something like that. And then we can go into some type of loop. Do we have loops in the drum packs? I actually have no idea. Oh, we do. No way. Okay, so yeah, click on loops. These are very interesting. Okay, so I haven't really explained loops. So samples, obviously, they're just one sample, and a loop is just a bunch of samples put into a loop, which you can use. Pretty simple. So if I drag this in here, this is going to be a very interesting transition. So we're going from this. Okay, so if like, let's say I drag in that loop and I don't like it, I can actually drag a loop on top of that loop and it will replace it. I mean, that's not typically the type of hip-hop drums I would choose, but you know what? Well, let's just roll with it because why not? Okay, so what we have here, we need to add in a hip-hop instrument that's going to sound, let's just pick something incredibly cliche. Let's get a flute. So we're going to add in another flex. We're going to go to wind instruments. We're going to go to flutes. Let's do flute staccato. And let's just right-click on the flute. Actually, let's make sure we're in our patterns. Let's click on the hip-hop part. Let's right-click our flute staccato, go to piano roll, copy and paste this in here, and now we have this. Let's go to pattern. Okay, so I need to Control C, Control V that up because the notes are too low, it's not playing. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Okay, so we're gonna take this hip hop part, we're gonna place it up above here, and now we have this. Okay, this is very interesting. Now we need to have a 808 that just like goes, sounds really sick. So let's what should we do here? Why don't we copy the lower notes on this?
Me when I was making music before.
Control C.
I'll just add an 808.
We're gonna go to
808.
channel rack
Wait,
again.
here's another 808.
And finally, we're going to go to flex. Who would have guessed it? Now let's go to mobile tuned 808 bass, and let's just click on like one of these. So let's see. Ooh, that's clean. I'm just gonna turn the compress up instead of just make it louder. This doesn't sound bad. Okay, cool. now we're going to go to the flute staccato, and I'm just going to go to our bass instrument. So you can see we've added so many instruments so far. So let's just Control V. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna turn down the bass just slightly, and we're gonna try to make like, I don't exactly know what kind of, I don't make a ton of hip hop, so this is gonna be really interesting. Probably gonna get roasted in the comments for making the like crappiest hip hop beat of all time using stock plugins. Oh. What if it was like this and just kind of like, I don't know, something like this? What if it was like something like that? Okay, something like this maybe? I have no idea. I have no idea. We might make our own drums because I really don't like that drum sample. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds really trash. Okay, let's just put more of this stuff here. Right now, I'm just doing basically everything again that we went over before, just kind of filling it in as I see fit. So we're just adding a bass line. I'm pretty much doing the same process that I did with the EDM. I'm just changing the instruments to fit the genre, and I'm just trying to make the bass line sound like it fits more with a hip hop song. So I already have listened to tons of hip hop. I've listened to tons of like all different kinds of genres. So I already kind of know, okay, I feel like this bass line is going to be more like this in this genre and more like this in this genre. So I'm just kind of changing the bass line based on what I think would sound good. So that's the thought process there. You know what sound really cool is if we had like a little note here and then it went like really high pitched, like this. And that one went low. Okay, and we're just gonna repeat this part because I don't want to keep listening to the EDM part. And then we're gonna see if there's any. What does it sound like? That's not hip hop. That's literally just not at all. Okay, I guess we're sticking with this. That's fine. Let's see. Is there anything else I can add to make this more interesting? I could go to channel rack, and you know what? Okay, we're actually going to. Without going to channel rack, I'm gonna stop adding new instruments because we have a bunch. Let's click on hip hop part. We're going to split this like I did before. We're gonna take the. We're gonna take the bass boosted, and we're gonna just put this a little lower, and we're gonna have our melody here. The last thing I want to do is I want to add in some like. You guys will see what I'm about to do. So I'm going to copy the bass notes right here. I'm going to hit Control C. We're going to navigate to the brass instrument, the brass, right here, and do this. Okay, actually, change my mind. I am going to add another instrument. I'm going to add in another flex. And it's going to be a brass, but I want it to be staccato. I don't want it to be a lengthy. So we're gonna go to full brass staccato. And from there, I'm gonna go back, navigate back here. I'm just gonna navigate to the instrument that I just added and paste that in. Okay, and then I need it to kind of like, and again, I'm just changing the volume to make sure it fits. We're going to go back here. We're going to split the pattern once more, and then we have the bass parts. Oh, whoops, I'm going to drag this up like so. I'm going to delete this, and then I'm just going to copy this over here. Okay, so we made hip-hop, EDM, and orchestral music all in one pattern, all in one take. That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever done this before. And the best part is it all sounds like, well, let's just put it this way, it is not my best work that I've ever made, but you know what, I think a little bit of forgiveness is going to be accepted since I'm using all stock presets and plugins, since that's what I'm working with. Okay guys, hopefully we can go to the next chapter confident and you have at least something. So even if you don't have all of this, that's fine. In fact, even if you just made one of these sections, like let's say you just worked on the orchestral, or you just did the EDM part, or you just did the hip hop part, that's fine. I'm just kind of going over a broad range, and actually I don't even expect you guys to be able to completely follow along everything I've done. If this is your first time using FL Studio and you have everything I have up to this point and did your own take on it, that is insane. Like that is, I'm so like proud that you did that. If you haven't gotten to that point, I do not blame you at all. I was going extremely fast, and the amount of times that you're probably gonna have to go back and forth to see how I did things over again, I know is probably gonna be tough. So if you can't make everything the way I did it or get it to sound this good, that's completely fine. Don't worry, okay? It's gonna be okay. So I think we're pretty much ready to go to the next part of the tutorial. So with that, why don't we go to the next chapter? Okay, this chapter is going to be fun. First, we are going to go to our channel rack and we are going to click all. And we are going to see all of these instruments that we added. And what we're going to do is you're going to hold shifts, go to start from the very first instrument, shift, left click, and drag your mouse down. And it will automatically select all of these. Then you can scroll down a little bit, hold shift again, click these last few. Now click Control L. And what it's going to do, okay, you're not going to know what this is going to do at first. I'm just going to explain what it did. So click X on your channel rack. Now it's going to pop open this menu right here. You're just going to click windowed on this. So now we have this. This is called our mixer. And what it did right now is it just placed every single one of our instruments on a mixer track and named it and colored it for us. It is super convenient. So again, that is Control L. And it will automatically select all of these. Then you can scroll down a little bit, hold shift again, click these last few. Now click Control L. And what it's going to do, okay, you're not going to know what this is going to do at first. I'm just going to explain what it did. So click X on your channel rack. Now it's going to pop open this menu right here. You're just going to click windowed on this. So now we have this. This is called our mixer. And what it did right now is it just placed every single one of our instruments on a mixer track and named it and colored it for us. It is super convenient. So again, that is Control L. Okay. So so with that, why don't we go to the next chapter? Of these instruments, okay, you're not going to know what this is going to do at first. I'm just going to explain what it did. So click X on your channel rack. Now it's going to pop open this called our mixer. And what it did right now is it just played. So again, that is Control L. Okay, so we're going to keep this mixer open and we're going to go to the beginning of the song again and click play and just see what it's doing. Okay, I'm gonna make one last change to this because I just thought of it. It's gonna go. So it's gonna be like this. No, it needs to go. Okay. Something like that. Okay, I know I said that we were doing mixing. Let's go back to the mixer. Sorry, I just had to make that change because I realized that it would sound cool. Okay, so as you saw, the mixer, this is what's called the mixer. So we have the channel rack right here. We have the piano roll right here. We have the channel rack. Oh wait, my bad, hold on. Let's try that again. Playlist is here. This is the playlist. This is the piano roll. This is the channel rack. And then this is the mixer, okay? And what the mixer does is it essentially, let's just close out the rest of this. I just want to see my mixer. So what the mixer does is it lets us control the volume and effects of individual instruments so that we can kind of blend them together, okay? So the first thing to know is that this changes the volume. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go to the beginning of the song just to try mixing this part of the song. So I'm gonna right click select and we're just gonna focus on this little area. We're gonna go here. And so you can see this changes the volume here. So this is gonna be where we're gonna be leveling a lot. I also use the volume a lot here. So let's right click and just reset all these because I like the way the volume was initially. And if I right click, it's gonna solo it here. And note, this is not the same as actually soloing here. So you do have to, so if I right click and solo an instrument that is muted in my mixer, it's gonna play nothing because, see, so if these are separate basically is what I'm trying to get at. So why don't we focus on just adding some effects to some of these instruments. So I think some reverb would sound really cool on this electric piano. So why don't we go to this slot, there's slot 1 through 10. Just click slot 1 and let's find Fruity Reverb 2 and click this here. So now we have this reverb plugin and this is gonna make it sound like it's in a room essentially. So it's just up the wetness. Okay, and then if you middle mouse scroll, you can actually move these effects around here, and so that might be helpful for you. So let's move the reverb here. And in the first slot, why don't we do Fruity Delay Bank and just click on that. And this is just gonna add another effect here. And you don't need to know what any of this does, you can just listen to how it sounds. And if you don't want to hear an effect at any time, you can just simply mute it up here. I think that sounds great. So now we're going to go to strings slow. And to make some quick changes here, I'm going to go to slot 1 and I'm going to add Fruity Parametric EQ 2. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to change the frequencies of this particular instrument. This is what you're going to be using probably all the time, okay? This is what's referred to as mixing. So let's say I have two parts of my song that sound like they're conflicting with each other. So we have some low end here, but if you remember, we also have my bass instrument here. If we listen to the bass here, we have this going on here. Oh wait, hold on, I have to. So you see we have two things that have low end, so they're gonna be fighting for space in the mix. Essentially what that means is, imagine you're like packing a, I forgot what the trucks are called, that when you move like a house and you have to put all this, a moving van? Yeah, a moving van. Okay, so when you have a moving van, you have to fit all the items in your house into the moving van. And there's a very inefficient way of doing that, which would be to put all the things and try to stuff them in the back. Rather, what you'd want to do is kind of figure out where everything could, you might put the heavier stuff in the back maybe, or you would want to space it out properly so that everything has its spot and everything has its place in the moving van. In the same way with your mix, every single instrument wants to have a space in that mix, and you don't want to have it overcrowded in certain areas. So if you have too many bass instruments, it's going to sound overcrowded and it's going to sound not even. It's not going to sound pleasant to the ear because you have too many things going on in the bass instruments. A good rule of thumb to remember is that you can have more things happening the higher up you go. So what do I mean by that? If you have a, like, well, let's just listen to our melody. So we have this chill guitar. That sounds higher pitched than this. That's a lot lower. And then this, I'd say that's maybe even lower than this. Or maybe this is lower, I'm not sure. Point being, I can have less bass instruments going at the same time than I can have going with a melody. I could have a lot of, that's why I have three different kinds of pianos and stringed instruments, but I can't have 3 different kinds of basses because all the basses would be fighting for space. So what we're gonna do is we're going to unclick on everything here. We're going to select everything here. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to work on just mixing in the strings with the rest of the song. So I'm gonna open up by double clicking parametric EQ2 and make sure that you are selected on the correct instrument. So I have all strings, slow, and we're going to just move, we're going to cut out some frequencies to make it fit better. So you see what this does. So I'm just left clicking and moving these around. So I'm going to take out the low end out of the strings. So I'm trying to move it. I want to get it to sound good and fit well in the mix. So I'm not really, just do what sounds good. So like change these until you think it sounds nice, and then turn it off and on to see if it sounded better. Okay, I think it sounds a little bit better. I think it sounds a little bit more tighter and a little bit better in the mix. Now I'm gonna add another EQ onto my electric piano right here.
that's kind of terrible. This is actually just making me realize how bad my song already was. It's not great. You know what? Honestly, I think the only part of this song I actually like at this point is like just the violins and piano, and then this last part. I'm gonna make a new song. Dude, what the flip? Empty. What is this? Oh my gosh, what is this? What the frick? What is this? Okay, let me just find something simple. Ow. My ears. Gosh. Dude, there's too much. Too much going on. Mini synth. No. Flex is pretty good, honestly. think. Whoops. What should I do? Right. What? Oh. Wait, what? There we go. I didn't know you could do this, and this is so cool, like just being able to click one button and have it do everything for you. Alright. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Alright, sure. It's kind of cool. Oh shoot. I've got the wrong tool. I like the guitar. I think it sounds pretty cool. Did I get a haircut? No. Missed it all. What? I mean, what? What do you mean it had to crash? It didn't even crash, did it? Whatever. Okay, it is. Does seem like it's being a little weird. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. I only have 8 minutes left and I've done nothing. What the heck? Why, man? It goes by so quick. Uh, um. that should be fine. I don't know. Weird. Oh. Why does it sound like on that last time? It's like, I guess, just because there's nothing high to kind of like keep it going, so it sounds a bit muted. Wait, maybe it is the drums. I don't know. To be fair, that kind of doesn't trail off very well. I don't know. I don't know. What? I like that transition. It's kind of... If I don't have these. Definitely need another pattern there. Alright, anyway, I'm gonna get going.